Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, and I'm delighted to be joined with Blaine with her fantastic movie, The Guapa. Let's take another clip.
Leo?
So happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for bringing your amazing film where I was having nightmares.
Good.
No, seriously, your film was really, really fantastic. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Yeah, The Guapa is about a bisexual man and a gay man, and they've been dating for a year, and they go on a trip to a cabin in the woods. And while they're there, you start to realize that their relationship is kind of falling apart, and then they find a mysterious woman in the woods who may or may not turn into a monster.
I mean, with a synopsis like that, why would you not want to watch it? Like, I mean, it's so intriguing. Listen, I mean, firstly, the woods are scary. It's scary enough when you're going through anything in a relationship that's going in different directions, but
yeah.
Nobody expects to see what they're going to see when they're going to see it in the woods. So, brilliant story. Where did the inspiration come from, Blaine, in creating this project?
Yeah, I'm a bisexual, half Puerto Rican, half white person. And I'm always trying to find kind of like gaps in storytelling. I always feel like I'm never enough of one thing and I don't fit into places. So I like kind of like outsider stories. And I felt like I wasn't seeing, I love genre in general, and that's mostly what I watch. And I was like, I don't see people like me there. So myself and Alexander Flores, who plays Manny and is a producer on the film, we got together and we were like, let's put queer brown people into horror because we don't see that. And we also were kind of sick of the same old monsters all the time. So we were like, let's look into Latine folklore and see if there's any like monsters we haven't seen on screen before. And there were so many. And we came I wanted a Caribbean monster because I'm Puerto Rican, but Puerto Rico mostly just had the chupacabra, and I was like, I don't think I can afford to make a chupacabra. But in the Dominican Republic, we found the Guapa, which is basically a type of forest siren, and I was like, that's very doable, and then also thematically fit in with kind of my exploration of bisexual prejudices within the queer community.
Yeah.
So she kind of became a tool to bring that out within the couple as well.
Yeah. And you know, for goodness me, like, firstly, it's a brilliant story, but when you are able to add all those things that we don't see enough on our screens, and I mean, it's so refreshing to see that. It's so refreshing, and also refreshing that you don't make as a queer person, you don't make the subject about being queer. It's actually just a relationship that so happens to experience this together.
Yeah.
And you know, taking down the biases that happen within the community as well. Like, you know, I love that you mentioned that. Firstly, it was like wonderfully acted, like really, really, really. And of course, taking on a role like, you know, our little folklore character certainly has to be a very good actor. How do you go about bringing your cast together, Blaine?
Yeah, so Alex is one of my best friends. He was in the Maze Runner franchise, so I kind of wrote the role for him. Though it was during the pandemic, so we pulled kind of from friends in our community, and we got Georgie for Leo, and he was just incredible. We did do auditions for the Guapa because I wanted someone who could kind of like be a contortionist and move their body in a specific way. Yeah. So I have some like really crazy audition videos on my computer still of people moving their body. And I found Claudia Servin, who already had this really long hair. I was like, great, I don't need a wig. She was Latina. She's a belly dancer and could like turn her back upside down and like had her face and claws in crazy places. And I was like, she's it. She came to set and like on the page, there wasn't a lot written about like the creature crawls and she like devours them. But Claudia was like, what if we do this? What if I do this? And was just like writhing around the room, and I was like, you go. I'm just gonna let her do her thing. She was so into it. It was so wonderful.
That's amazing. And whereabouts did you film, by the way?
We shot in the Sequoia National Forest.
Oh, how was
in
that? I bet that was
Ponderosa.
amazing.
Yeah, it was great. We were there in off season in November, so it was freezing. And we were like the only people in town. The town has like 60 people, and they're like, "What are you guys all doing?" But it was really fun and just so beautiful as well, but also creepy because it's like winter and the trees are dying. But it really like added. It's a one location movie, but I feel like bigger.
Yeah, and I love obviously there's obviously the part of it that's about their sort of what we evolve to see as their relationship that they're having and the kind of difficulties they're having, and then this added element of a character in the woods on top of that. How, as a director, how do you like to work with your actors?
I'm an actor first. I was acted for probably 15 years. I was on a couple TV shows, so I really know the language. Where me and Alex met was an acting class. So I kind of have a shared language where I'm able to talk to them very easily. And that's kind of where my directing all comes from. It comes from a character point of view. And I use a lot of the way I break down scripts is the same way I do it as an actor, but for every single character now as a director. And I try to make sure they have a safe space. I always love to do private rehearsals with them and make sure the whole crew's not there so they can figure it out first. Yeah. And then at least have 1 or 2 rehearsals beforehand, because a lot of times in film, we're just like, let's show up and do it. And I was like, no, let's go to rehearsal so we can get all the questions out beforehand, because time is money.
Time is money, exactly. Well, I also love the elements because you have to have certain elements in a horror film to give you those little moments of uncomfortableness, and I thought you did it really well through score, through also through the way it was shot as well. Like I was like, oh my goodness me, like as a director, what kind of dynamics did you want to bring in to sort of create that sort of atmosphere that you did with her?
Yeah, I think with horror, well, especially in a short, I was like, I've got to it's hard to build the tension. You don't have a lot of time to build the tension. So I kind of really focused on my transitions. What can I do that's jarring? Because she doesn't really come in till the minute 8 or so, which is like a large part of the film. But I'd make sure we have a cute moment, and then we're like overhead on a blender that looks like blood. So you're like, what's happening? Because it's not quite scary yet, but things are uncomfortable, not quite right. Or there's a shot and there's a pole between them to show their separation. So I'd use shot composition. Or you think it's gonna be a jump scare, but do a sort of fake out so you're waiting for the larger jump scare at the end.
You did such a good job, your build up of the thing. I was getting scared of things I hadn't even seen yet. I was like, I'm safe, I'm okay, it's all
That's
good.
The best.
Well done you. And of course, literally seeing this on the big screen was mesmerizing. Obviously, this was part of NewFilmmakers LA in partnership with the Academy, particularly celebrating incredible Latinx storytellers. How was that experience for you?
It was really, really fun. This is definitely a movie that's it's not made, I didn't make it for a laptop.
No, for sure.
It's definitely a movie. It's a horror film. So when you have a crowd watching a horror film, you've got someone over there being like, oh shit, or someone in the back being like, no, no, no. So that the audience responded so well. And also I have a dark comedic side to me. Yeah. And so everyone was getting all the jokes I had in there as well, because I like to keep it light and dark at the same time.
Yeah, you did very well, yeah.
Yeah, it's, I guess, my tone. And the audience was just so excited, and everyone yelled at the end, and you could feel like when the entire audience jumps, there's just nothing like that. And only a cinema can do that.
Only a cinema can do that. And even with it, there's the great sound. You got to really enjoy the sound as well that you brought to the film.
I worked hard on that, so
you did a good job,
for the
honestly. Yeah, absolutely. What is next for you, Blaine?
What's next? Definitely trying to make this into a feature.
Yes. Amazing.
And expanding on the world, possibly placing it in the Dominican Republic so I can bring the creature, have the creature go to its home area.
Amazing.
And have 5 people there instead, and have it be kind of like a microcosm of modern queerness and the problems within that.
That's phenomenal. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Listen, in your career thus far as a filmmaker, as a creative, as an artist, people that want to follow in your footsteps, what kind of advice do you give, or what do you go by as an artist that you could support other artists out there?
Okay. Hustle.
Yes.
I was a bartender for 8 years. Save your money.
Yes.
It's really hard to find money these days,
Yes.
or you have to do all the grants, do all the fellowships. I still haven't won any of them, but also just finding a community. I went to USC for grad school, and that really gave me a network of people I can always pull from, and we're always working together.
Yeah, well, listen, to have your film at the Academy celebrating, you and what you create is, I mean, tremendous achievement as well. But we love what you've done. Thank you for scaring me so much. I can't wait to be scared throughout the entire feature. But congratulations and welcome to the New Filmmakers family. So
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank you.